Well, hey there, kids. How you doing? So, I broke my arm. This frame is going to break as many arms as my Eachine Racer 250. This arm did not break in a crash. I'm pretty sure that this arm broke in mid-flight. And what happened was, the arm had been crashed enough times to make some cracking in there. And then, at some point, I throttled it, and it just broke. And that's why Mr. Happy Drone can wave hello. But anyways, here's my other broken arm, but this one will not be fixable in this way. So my dream quad here, the Dream Team winner, the best quad on my A list, I don't know if you can see in there, I only got Racer 250s, which if I only had one it wouldn't work, but because I have two, I always have one that can fly. And so here's my plan. I don't know when, but hopefully soon I can buy a duplicate of this frame as well. And you might say, well, why don't you just upgrade to a better frame? The frame is obviously very fragile because of these cutaways. You could do so much better by just getting a modern frame, an acro frame or something like that, or like a wizard type frame. I was actually thinking about getting a wizard, but the thing is this frame is part of my learning experience. I am spending time getting to know this frame, and it's very fast, and it's very fast for me anyways. I know that people are going to tell you that it's a slow and dumb frame and it's outdated and it's for beginners, but incidentally, I am a beginner. And because of this, I first of all did fly this frame. So because I did fly this frame, I want to have it. And that means that I need to maintain it. And that means that I need to buy a second one and a bunch of extra parts, like arms. And that way, even when I do eventually upgrade, I will have a running Racer 250, at least one good edition, because I'm going to keep it up. And I do fly it, and I think the Racer 250 is very good. It's very easy to fly, it's very easy to navigate through gaps and other difficult obstacles. This one is a little more difficult, it has more power, but it also, the more rigid frame results in more energy efficiency in things like lateral motion, which is a negative if you're trying to have an easy time of things, because you get sliding along and it's hard to drive in a straight controlled line where the vehicle is, it's hard to drive like this. The vehicle's always doing something like this, and your little corrections make big differences. With the Racer 250, it's slower, but you have a lot more control, and it's easier to drive almost on a rail, and then little changes, they barely make a difference. So if you overcompensate a little too much, then you don't actually really gain any momentum from the overcompensation. You just, it's just kind of like a little bit of extra braking, and then you might gain a little bit of momentum because the whole vehicle, though, is so spongy and it's not stiff, so the vibration causes the plastic arms to move, and then because of the aerodynamics of the vehicle, the turbulence of the craft makes it so that you have to actually be really pushing in a direction to really even travel in that direction. So if you overcorrect a little too much, it wasn't enough throttle to actually give you an acceleration in the wrong direction. So you have to push so hard that it makes it very easy to fly, and you can just fly in a straight line really easily, and there's a bunch of really good things about them. And so this is probably another one where it's not the best performance frame, and it's not the most durable frame, and there's just a bunch of reasons why it's gonna be out-engineered, in almost every way. But there will be things about it that a beginner might benefit from having around while they're still developing their skills. And then on top of that, if I keep my copter range working so that I have at least a copy, at least one model of the craft that I spend a lot of time with, there's nostalgia. I can come back to it. I can really enjoy it. I can be like, yeah, this is what I used to fly, and here it works really great, and they chew parts, these copters, when you break them so much, and it's going to be a lot of work to have one around, but I think it'll be worth it, and I think I'll be really happy about that.